Was that loud?
I'm just laughing. Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
I know I have a tendency to do that at the beginning. Hello, everybody. This is Flower Nicole here.
Howdy.
As you can see, my lovely husband, Roberto, is here with me today.
What's up, everyone?
We're just going to give some...
If anyone.
Not yet. Well, yep, we have Ashley. Hi, Ashley. We're just going to give some people some time to get into the room. We're going to talk a little bit about fears today, and then we're going to do a mini tap on fears, and I'm also going to tell you the flower essence after this airplane flies away.
We got a bunch of people on here.
After this airplane, okay, there we go. So we're tapping out fears and also going to tell you which flower essences are best for what type of fears. So this is excellent. So we got a couple people here. Oh, your mommy is watching. Hi, Kelly.
Just
Hi,
type in the thing, Mom. We can see it.
Yeah, wait, can I see the, hold on, the message? This is our, oh no. Oh, how do I go back? Ah, okay. I didn't mess up the screen. Yes, we can still hear you. Oh yes, we know. Heart to you too. So today's topic is fears. Where in your life do you feel afraid? What are you afraid of? Like, are you afraid of the dark? Are you afraid of failing? Are you afraid of being reprimanded by your boss? What are you afraid of?
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Being reprimanded by your boss?
I know.
I don't know, but I'm thinking, if I'm thinking what you're thinking.
Spiders?
Because everyone's afraid of spiders, right? Spiders is the normal one. But the flower this week is...
So the flower this week is Mimulus. So Mimulus is for known fears. So these are fears that you know you have. For example, afraid of the dark, afraid of spiders, afraid of dogs, afraid of... Why? What are you thinking?
Well, I have a funny story.
Oh boy.
Okay. This is from when I was about 3 or 4, and I really wish I had Mimulus at this time. I was over at my grandparents' house. It was a very chill, relaxed evening. We're talking 1988 or no, maybe 1989. I'm watching
Freddy. Do you need
Freddy.
some flower essences right now? Are you afraid thinking about it?
I'm gonna get afraid here in a minute.
Well, then here, let's give you
right.
some drops. So normal dosage is 4 drops. So here, well, just so you don't actually feel afraid. All right.
Well, I needed those every time I saw my grandpa, because my grandpa used to be the master of whenever I walked in a room. He knew I loved horror movies and all that stuff, so whenever I walked in the room, all of a sudden he would just go. And then I'd be like, oh no, what's behind me? So I would have needed it then, because I know it's coming. So every time I walked in the room, I could have went.
Oh, you're already having the anxiety.
Then been like, psh, Gramp, you ain't getting me this time.
Oh, Cheryl, big dogs. Definitely Mimulus is good for that. Especially when you know you're going to be around them, or if you just experience an interaction with a big dog. So because your system is jolted. But if you knew your grandpa was going to scare you.
It was a fun scare, but I'm like,
But you were
what
still
is it
afraid.
now? Is it Pumpkinhead back there?
Our
Is
dog
it...
does this, where I don't know if your pets do this, but have you ever seen your pets where pretend you're me, right? And I'm a little dog, woof woof, okay? And you're just sitting there, and then your dog does this, or your cat, and they look back at you, and then they're just like, and they're
alone.
They're
Mom is
watching
alone.
something. You know they are.
Something
So-
supernatural.
Maybe.
Because one time, remember, the dog Riley did it, and then like the toilet flushed, and we were like, "Whoa, what the hell?"
Yeah, I mean,
Heck,
could
what
be.
the heck? Just heck, not hell. Heck.
it could be dust or a magic fairy. It doesn't have to be something supernatural.
Real quick though, back to my quick fear story.
Oh,
So we're watching, as any 4-year-old would. I'm watching, not Friday the 13th, the other one, Nightmare on Elm Street.
4 years old, you're watching those movies?
Obvious movie to watch at 4 or 5. My cousin and I are watching this, and in this particular Nightmare on Elm Street, I can't remember which number it was, but Freddy does something where he's able to get into your body, and the guy like looks in the mirror opens his mouth, and then in the back, Freddy's eyeball opens.
Okay, we don't want to scare everyone watching.
Well, no, but there's a moral to this story.
Wait, we could watch. We could scare you because we're gonna tap out fears here in a little bit. We're gonna do a mini tapping session, emotional freedom technique. So tapping out fears.
So all the fears will be gone.
So go ahead and give yourself permission. Repeat after me and tap on your chest. I give myself permission.
Who, me?
Well, might as well. You're here.
I give myself permission
to feel any fears.
That
I may have.
Because in a couple of minutes.
Nicole's gonna guide me. To perhaps releasing some of those fears. Take a deep breath in and sigh it out. Cheryl, yes, we are at a winery, but we aren't drinking. We're drinking water because it's very hot here.
Actually, it's nice out today.
It's nice though.
Okay,
I know the whole country is like either underwater or in flames.
Hurricanes are fire. I know.
Where are you at,
Everyone
Cheryl?
actually needs Mimulus now. Like the people from the hurricanes could use Mimulus because they might be afraid of it coming, but then they could relax more.
People going under any type of trauma right now need Star of Bethlehem. That's another flower essence that's specifically for trauma or for natural disasters or any of those types of situations.
I know.
Yeah.
But before my train of thought just keeps running, let me finish this.
Okay.
So we're watching that movie. The eyeball behind the mouth happens, and I'm starting to torment my cousin. My little cousin was like 3. We're watching it, and I'm like, you better not keep your mouth open when you go to sleep, and this, that, and the other thing. I'm just giving him a hard time, like a douchebag cousin. Kind of feel bad about it. But then my grandma came over and saw. I wish my grandma was on here. I am afraid of it. Yeah. Jim Garton, I am afraid of it also. Who isn't afraid of Pennywise?
People are afraid of clowns.
Hi, Georgie.
People who are afraid of clowns definitely need some Mimulus flower essence.
No,
because you already
clowns. Everyone's afraid of clowns.
I'm not afraid of clowns.
Clowns shouldn't even exist.
I love clowns. Like, they're happy, they're smiley, they have a red nose, you can like honka honka. What?
Honka honka them. Okay, but
clown's
so
nose?
I'm doing that, and just before I forget this, then my grandma comes in and sees that I'm tormenting my little cousin here a little bit, and she's like, "If it can happen to Skylar, you better keep your mouth closed too, because it can happen to you, because Freddy might get you." And then I was like, "Uh-oh!" I was like, I was tormenting Skylar without thinking.
Okay, maybe we shouldn't let our kids watch scary movies when they're little.
No,
yeah,
probably
because you seem like you have a little bit of trauma from watching all these scary movies at 4 years old.
I got to watch scary movies.
Well, I
Terminator,
think today
RoboCop.
It's good. Today you're gonna tap out Freddy. What's his name again? Freddy Krueger. Tap out Freddy Krueger. Clowns. Jim, you can join us.
Freddy Krueger's a comedian now, I think, but
the actual actor.
No, the character.
Oh.
The character's
because
funny.
You're an adult
like
now. You're not a 4-year-old child.
Yeah. So, but that's.
Okay, wait. Enough of your story. What about you guys? We want to hear from you. What are you afraid of? What would be something that you want to tap out today? So,
spiders.
Yeah, Mimulus is for the known fears. So, that's what we're focusing on today is known fears. What do you know you're afraid of? I personally, now I get to tell my story while they're typing. I'm afraid of the dark. I didn't think I was afraid of the dark anymore. I'm a 32-year-old woman, and you would think I would be over it. But recently, I was in a retreat in Ojai, California.
Another one.
And there are no lights there. And I was walking back to my cabin alone in the dark, and I felt that fear creep up. It just started to like come up, and I was just like, okay, I'm tense. What do you do when you're afraid? You freeze, you tense up, you might shiver, you might shake. So where in your life have you felt those types of fears creep up? Heights, yeah, heights.
That's a big one.
Yeah, I'm afraid of heights too. I think the older you get, the more you become afraid of heights.
That just like disembodies you.
Yeah,
I feel like.
Fear of the dark. You know, I think why I became afraid of the dark, I remember the story, which I do definitely need to tap on this, but I remember not being afraid of the dark, and then I was walking through my old house when I was 5, and my uncle was hiding in the room down the hallway in the dark, and as soon as I got to the end of the hallway, he jumped out of the room in pitch black and went, boom! And ever since that very specific moment, I've been afraid of the dark. So I definitely need to heal
It's
that
very true.
that trauma, that little 5-year-old trauma of me. Oh my gosh, skydiving. Couldn't do that.
I think that should just be a plain out, like, recognized fear worldwide. Skydiving.
Oh,
is...
wait. Oh, the screen went up too high. Who said you are not afraid of the dark, but rather what? I didn't get to read it. It popped up too fast.
Can't you go back?
We need a
Can you go
computer.
back?
It would be way better if we had a large screen.
Can you go back down?
I don't know. Okay, we're trying something, guys.
The heights is a good one, though.
Whee!
Yeah, see?
Oh, but rather what's in the dark. Ooh, who said
That's a
that?
good
Dawn.
point.
Dawn.
Yeah, you never really know. True.
You
The dark
just
is...
read my soul. I love it. Yeah, what's in the dark? What's hiding? What's lingering?
Night terrors.
Yeah, because we
Just
came
like
from
dark water, the fear of dark water.
Wait. Wouldn't that guy from Batman, didn't he say, I was born in the darkness?
Molded by it.
Molded
You
by
were
it.
merely adapted to it.
Yeah, who says that?
It was Bane Cat. Not Batman, but I think it was, or maybe Bane did say it and then Bane Cat said it.
Yeah. I was born in the darkness. I mean, technically, weren't we all born in darkness? Kind of? The womb is dark, right?
Rather than just pitch black water is creepy as heck too.
Oh, don't even get me started on water. If you're afraid of water or sharks,
Explain fear just
pops up when I'm alone. Yeah, fears. There's another flower essence that...
There's also like the fear of being around large groups of people, anxiety, fear, like that type of thing.
Well, that's the thing. Those are kind of unknown fears where you don't really know why you're afraid, but it's creeping up on you. And instead of doing Mimulus for those types of unknown fears, I would recommend Aspen. So Aspen flower essence is for unknown fears and anxieties. Mimulus, which is the flower of the week, is for known fears. So he's afraid of spiders. I think that's what you're going to tap on today.
Maybe.
Yeah?
That or Freddy Krueger. I want Freddy out of my life. Now. Freddy, we're done. We're done. Unless I get to meet Robert Englund and be like, that's really Freddy? I'm over Freddy.
Your relationship with Freddy Krueger is finished. Yeah. All right. So we got a good amount of people in the room. I think it might be a good time to start tapping. Are you guys ready to tap? Oh yeah, being afraid of before you go to surgery. Those are definitely...
That type of stuff is good too. Yeah, that's
those are
a good
good.
one for Mimulus.
Yeah. So we're going to give ourselves a dosage of flower essence before we do the tap with you guys. If you don't have Mimulus, doing the emotional freedom technique tapping will work just as well. I just like to incorporate flower essences with all of my clients because I've seen that it just moves things way quicker and just more graciously and gracefully. So flower essence, Mimulus. So you ready to tap? Are you guys ready to tap? Do you still want to talk about your fears before we tap them out? Is there anything you'd like to share?
Arachnophobia had a big fear, big play into my fear of spiders.
But why spiders? Why are you afraid of spiders?
But then also that that literally 5 seconds ago she just saw me doing the limbo under a spider web. But when I was coming back over here,
he literally just this. He was walking and all of a sudden you see him go like this. And I'm like, what are you ducking under? And he's like,
did you see that spider web? And she's like, no. I'm like, it's right there.
All right, I think we should start tapping.
Okay.
Because I can feel your anxiousness.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, so I'm going to give you another dosage. Okay. Do you want to give it to yourself, or do you want...
And her goal at the end of this is then to have me go and play with a live tarantula, but we're not going to broadcast that.
Yeah, a long time ago I held the tarantula in my hands. He almost had a heart attack.
Well, the lady said I was going to do it next, and I'm like, yeah, right. And she's like, today you overcome your fears. And then I was like, see ya.
We didn't have flower essences back then.
I ain't touching that thing.
All right. So the normal dosage for taking a flower essence is 4 drops 4 times a day, especially if you know you're working on something. If you feel the fears creep up more than 4 times a day, then go ahead and take another dosage of the flower essence. I personally believe that you can't take too much or too little of them. So if you feel called to taking a flower essence, like let's say it's on the counter and you just think about it, that might be your internal spirit saying, hey, I need some. Go ahead and take another dosage. So just FYI.
A little FYI.
All right, you ready? So the emotional freedom technique, for those of you who don't know it, it is a combination of traditional Chinese medicine and modern psychology. We will be tapping through meridians of our bodies, so different points, okay? And I'm going to go through all of them and tell you where to tap as we're doing it, so don't be afraid of that part or not knowing. And all these points and meridians are like electrical highways throughout our body. And whenever we experience physical or emotional trauma, it kind of creates like a little car crash in those highways. And now the electricity or the traffic through our body can't run properly. So what we do with tapping and flower essences, both of those kind of start shaking all of those car crashes loose so that we can clean up the pileups and clean up all those energetic blockages and all that trauma that we have and keep moving it through so that we can pass it and be at peace. Okay, and then electricity and all of our electrical frequency can run perfectly through our body. So are you guys ready to tap?
Be at peace from the spiders.
All right, we're going to start with massaging underneath our collarbone right here. So massaging underneath your collarbone, I want you to think about what's the number one thing that you are afraid of right now. So a known fear, something that is deeply coming up. For me, I'm going to tap on the dark, being afraid of the dark. What are you going to tap on?
Guess I'll do spiders today.
So really feel the emotions that come up when you think of what you're afraid of, okay? Take a deep breath in and sigh it out. The louder you can sigh, the better. Now you may experience burping, farting, crying, laughing, stomach gurgling. Those are all normal. That means you're moving energy, so keep it up, all right? Tapping the center of your chest. Repeat after me. And if the words don't exactly match how you're feeling, go ahead and change it, tweak it so that it matches exactly what you're feeling. Even though I feel afraid of, and then name what you're afraid of. I love and accept myself. Take a deep breath in, sigh it out. Even though I'm afraid of. And list what you're afraid of.
Spiders.
I love and accept myself.
I'm afraid of
spiders.
spiders.
And that really bothers me. Okay. Even though I'm afraid of. What
spiders.
are you afraid of? I love and accept myself. Okay, tapping in front of your ribs, underneath the breast. When I think of. And name what you're afraid of.
Spiders.
I feel.
And
what do you feel? What was that? Disgusted?
Like that fear of like.
Okay. Even though I'm afraid of.
I
love and accept myself. Even though I'm afraid of. And name what you're afraid of.
Even though I'm afraid of spiders.
I'm still a good person.
Still a great citizen.
And I'm worthy of love.
Tapping
the sides of your body. This fear I feel. Is very uncomfortable. It makes me feel. And what else does it make you feel?
Creepy, crawly, and a little just.
I give myself permission. Right now. To really feel this fear. Because it could be possible. That if I allow myself to feel it for just a little bit. I could let it go. And I can move on with my life. And not be afraid of.
And
what are you afraid of? Very good. Tapping your wrist, inside of your wrist. I feel. And what do you feel when you think of the thing that you're afraid of?
Creepy, crawly, goosebumpy.
And that makes me feel uncomfortable too.
Pain, feeling of getting bit.
I'm afraid of.
What
are you afraid of?
Spiders. And the spiders bite.
But it's okay. I love myself.
I love myself.
Take a deep breath in, sigh it out. Tapping the side of your thumb. This fear I feel.
This fear I feel.
This fear I feel.
This fear I feel.
Really allow yourself to feel that fear right now. Okay, this fear that I'm feeling
This fear that I'm feeling
is uncomfortable.
is uncomfortable.
Okay. And we're tapping where the nail and the skin meet. Okay. Take a deep breath in and sigh it out. The louder you can sigh, the better. I really feel afraid.
I really feel afraid.
I've been afraid for a very long time.
I've been afraid for a very long time.
Tapping your index finger. It kind of feels good to be afraid right now
It kind of feels good to be afraid right now
because I'm giving myself permission not to hide anymore
because I'm giving myself permission not to hide it
and not to suppress the fear.
and not to suppress the fear.
And I really feel it.
And I really feel it.
When I think about
When I think about
and then name what you're afraid of,
spiders,
it makes me feel afraid.
it makes me feel afraid.
Okay? Tapping your middle finger. I feel afraid because.
I feel afraid because.
And what do you feel? Why do you feel you're afraid of that? What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
When I was younger, I had a big wolf spider crawl across my face in the middle of the night.
Okay. It all started at that moment.
It all started at that moment.
It all started when I was.
It all started when I was like 10.
I was really afraid.
I was really afraid.
Okay, tapping the opposite side. So the index finger is the only finger that's opposite. So we're tapping this way now. I'm afraid of.
I'm afraid of spiders.
And it all started when? And when did it start? When did you remember first feeling this fear?
And it all started when this wolf spider ran across my face.
Take a deep breath in and sigh it out. I don't want to be afraid anymore.
I don't want to be afraid anymore.
Tapping your pinky finger. I have felt this fear for.
I have felt this fear for
And then how long have you felt it? How many years?
21 years.
Okay. I have been afraid for.
I have been afraid for 21 years.
Okay, very good. Tapping the side of your hand, called the karate chop point. I feel vulnerable when I feel afraid.
I feel vulnerable when I feel afraid.
And I don't want to feel that anymore.
And I don't want to feel that anymore.
I've been afraid for.
I've been afraid for 21
And how long have you been
years.
afraid? Okay. Take a deep breath in, sigh it out. Tapping the top of your head. This fear that I feel.
This fear that I feel,
It's really uncomfortable.
it's really uncomfortable.
Okay, and if you're crying right now or you're finding yourself having a hard time breathing, slow down, take deeper, slower breaths.
Ooh.
Okay, let's all take a very slow, deep breath in. Sigh it out. Very good. Tapping your eyebrows. Even though I'm afraid,
Even though I'm afraid.
and I have been afraid for a long
I've been afraid
time,
for a long time.
it could be possible
It could be possible
that I can let this go.
that I can let this go.
Take another deep breath in. Tapping the sides of your temples. Even though I've been afraid for.
Even though I've been afraid for
And how long have you been afraid?
21 years,
It's possible that I can let this go.
it's possible that I can let this go.
Okay, tapping your cheeks. I'm really afraid of.
I'm really afraid of
And what are you afraid of?
spiders.
And even though I'm afraid of,
Even though I'm afraid of spiders,
I love and accept myself.
I love and accept myself.
Even though I'm afraid of.
Even though I'm afraid of
And what are you afraid of?
spiders,
I love and accept myself.
I love and accept myself.
It could be possible
Could be possible
that I can move on from this.
that I can move on from this.
Take a deep breath in, sigh it out. Very Very good. We're almost halfway done, guys. Okay? Really allowing ourselves to feel the fear is what's going to help us to move it out. The reason that we have emotions inside of ourselves is because when we experience the trauma, we didn't know how to process them. Maybe we were too young, or we were in the middle of working, or maybe we were in the middle of driving. We didn't have time to process. So what we ended up doing is just stuffing it, storing it, so that maybe in the future we could come back to it. And now's the time, okay? Take a deep breath in, sigh it out. Even though I feel afraid of...
Even though I feel afraid of spiders,
I love and accept myself.
I love and accept myself.
Tapping underneath your lips, where the crease is, right there. I think I'm ready to let this go.
I think I'm ready to let this go.
It could be possible I might be ready to let this go.
It could be possible I might be ready to let this go.
Tapping the center of your chest. I've been afraid for a really long time.
I've been afraid for a really long
And
time.
I'm kind of tired of being afraid.
And I'm kind of tired of being afraid.
I want to have confidence again.
I want to have confidence again.
And I don't want to be afraid of something
And I don't want to be afraid of something.
or anything.
Or anything.
I don't want to be afraid of, and then name what you're afraid of.
I don't want to be afraid of spiders.
I don't want to be afraid of...
I don't want to be afraid of spiders.
Take a deep breath in, sigh it out. Very good. Tapping in front of your ribs. It could be possible I'm ready to let this fear go.
Could be possible I'm ready to let this fear go.
I've given myself enough time
I've given myself enough time
to hold on to this fear.
to hold on to this fear.
Okay? So I want you to picture in your mind right now the thing that you're most afraid of. Okay? It's okay. It might be a little scary, but this is just for a second. Okay? Picture in your mind. Close your eyes if you need to. Picture what you're afraid of. Okay? Take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. I am safe to look at this now.
I am safe to look at this now.
Okay? I am safe to look at my fear.
I am safe to look at my fear.
I am safe to look at what I'm afraid of.
I am safe to look at what I'm afraid of.
Okay, tapping the side of your body. I want you to imagine what you're afraid of. Okay, it's there in the front of your mind, right? Now I want you to put something on that fear. Okay, so whether it's a funny hat, something that's going to make you laugh at it, something that's going to make it silly, something that might make it less scary. So whether it's bringing it down to size, like to the size of an ant, or maybe, like I said, putting a nice little hat on it, or a wig, or weird makeup on it. What would you want to put on your thing that you're afraid of to make it funny? Can you picture that? Use your imagination. Let's all go back to kindergarten. We all loved kindergarten. I know we did. So let's use our imagination today. Take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. Okay? Tapping the side of your wrist. The thing that I was afraid of
The thing that I was afraid of
doesn't seem so scary anymore.
doesn't seem so scary anymore.
Because I've put,
Because I've put
and then what have you done to your scary thing, or say scary person, or scary item?
a dog face on it.
You put a dog face on the spider? Good! There you go. Okay? It's not so scary anymore. Okay? Tapping the side of your thumb. It could be possible
It could be possible
that by changing my perspective
that by changing my perspective
of what I once thought was scary,
of what I once thought was scary,
to not have it be scary,
to not have it be scary,
could possibly let it go.
could possibly let it go.
Okay? It could be possible if I change my perspective,
It could be possible if I changed my perspective,
I could no longer be afraid of it.
I could no longer be afraid of it.
Okay, tapping the side, your side of your index finger. Okay? I am not afraid anymore.
I am not afraid anymore.
Because the thing that I'm afraid
Because
of
the thing I'm afraid of
looks like,
looks like
and what does it look like to you?
Beethoven.
And in the future,
Beethoven the dog. In the future,
tapping your middle finger, when I think I'm going to be afraid,
when I think I'm going to be afraid,
I'm just going to come back to this memory,
I'm just going to come back to slobbering Beethoven.
to this funny, silly little
to
thing
this funny, silly little thing
that I placed on the thing I was afraid of.
that I placed on the thing I'm afraid of.
Okay, tapping the other side of your thumb. I don't have to be afraid anymore.
I don't have to be afraid anymore.
I am safe.
I am safe.
Tapping your index finger. Take a deep breath in, sigh it out. I don't have to be afraid anymore.
I don't have to be afraid.
I have courage.
I have courage.
I am extremely courageous for looking at this today.
I am extremely courageous for looking at this today.
And even though there might still be a little fear,
And even though there might still be a little fear,
it's still okay.
it's still okay.
Tapping the side of your hand. I've worked some of the fear out.
Worked some of the fear out.
Okay. When I first started tapping,
When I first started tapping,
when I would think of the thing I was afraid of,
when I would think of the thing I was afraid of,
I would rate it from a scale of 0 to 10 at
I would rate it
10 being very scary, 0 being not scaring at all. When you first started, what did you rate it at?
I'd rate it at a 7 or 8.
Okay, tapping the top of your head. Now after tapping a little bit,
Now after tapping a little bit,
I would rate it from 0 to 10.
I would rate it at a 3.
Okay. So this is what we call the suds, which in the beginning of tapping, we rate how scary or how traumatizing the thing we're tapping on is. So if you started at a 10 and now you're at a 7, you can see that you made progress. If you're not under 5, then we definitely do want to continue to tap on it, but because this is a short show, something is better than nothing. We got down, even if it's 1 point, it's better than nothing, right? Tapping your eyebrows, top of your eyebrows. I'm afraid a little less now.
I'm afraid a little less now.
And that's really awesome.
And that's really awesome.
All I had to do, tapping the temples,
All I had to do
was tap my body
was tap my body
and acknowledge how I truly feel.
and acknowledge how I truly feel.
Take a deep breath in, sigh it out. Tapping your cheeks. I feel less afraid now
I feel less afraid now
because I made the thing I was afraid of kind of silly.
because I made the thing I'm afraid of kind of silly.
So the next time, tapping underneath your nose. So the next time
So the next time
that I think I'm becoming afraid again,
that I think I'm becoming afraid again,
I'm going to think of this silly memory.
I'm going to think of this silly memory.
And then I don't have to be afraid anymore.
And that I don't have to be afraid anymore.
Okay, tapping underneath your lip. All I have to do is just take a deep breath in
All I have to do is just take a deep breath in
and picture this silly memory
and picture the silly memory
and exhale,
and exhale,
and I'll be fine.
and I'll be fine.
Tapping the center of your chest, take a deep breath in, sigh it out. I am courageous.
I am courageous.
I am, and then list what you feel you are. I am.
I am a ninja. What?
That was pretty good. I am
I feel?
courageous.
I am courageous.
I don't have to be afraid.
I don't have to be afraid.
I am courageous.
I am courageous.
All right, one final deep breath in and sigh it out. Make it a good one. Very good. So that was a very mini tap on fears. I'm going to go ahead and do another dosage of Mimulus, okay? Because Mimulus is the flower of the week, and that's...
Yeah, now I feel good. Now I'm ready to go back home and tell that wolf spider, get all your buddies together, and I'm going to, American Ninja style, take all you guys out.
So the flower essences, you take them internally, 4 drops 4 times a day, or if you need to take it more often, you can, depending on what you're feeling. But like I said, Mimulus is the flower essence of the week, and that's for known fears, So we know how the tapping was for you. How was that for y'all? What did you feel? What came up? How are you feeling right now? Are you still triggered? What number did you go from, or did you start at and get to? Yeah, I'd love to hear it from you guys. So.
You know what's funny? When you say do the deep breath in, and I've been to some of the classes, now I'm starting to think of The Rock, because we were talking about it the other day. When he used to wrestle, and he'd say, like, chant for The Rock.
That's awesome, Ashley. 10 to a 3. That's phenomenal.
What were you tapping on?
That's really
Did
good.
she state what she was tapping on?
That's good. About speaking in front of large groups of people.
Oh,
Perfect,
that's good.
Ashley. That's awesome. Congratulations. That's great. I love hearing that. Yeah, anytime you feel afraid, even before you go in front of the group, just tap. I always just like tap the center of my chest to calm myself down a little bit. So try that next time.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, tapping is really powerful. I'm really grateful for it. Thank you for sharing, Ashley. Anyone else would like to share? We'd love to hear from you guys. Yeah, what were you saying about the rock?
Oh, he used to do a thing where it was like a weird breathe in, and then he would stare off into I don't even know where he was staring.
But he was breathing?
Yeah, he would be like, they're chanting the rock's name. And then you'd see him just, and you're like, where is he looking? What is it? It was like the funniest persona thing that he used to do. But now I think of that every time you're like, take a deep breath in. I just want to go.
The reason we breathe when we're tapping is breathing moves energy. And so I don't know if anyone burped or farted or coughed or cried. All of those are off gases of tapping. And they're all normal. Yeah, I saw you yawning. And that's all welcomed. So embrace all those off-gassing symptoms. They're really good. Oh, we got some people who gave
thumb up.
Yeah, tapping is amazing. I'm really grateful to bring this to you guys. I'm grateful that I learned.
So is Mimulus. That's a good one for.
And the flower essences, when you pair them up,
everyday
it's
stuff.
just, it's great.
Everyday fears and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
That should just be like everyone takes out Mimulus.
I think everyone should carry Mimulus during Halloween time. Because especially on Halloween
like
night.
Not Scary Farm.
Oh
for you,
gosh.
That was.
I don't know why we went to that theme park during
Again,
Halloween.
that's one for Mimulus, though, because you know what you're walking into.
That's
and then
true.
you take it, and you can kind of chill out, and when, like, the dudes, like the chainsaw guy comes out, you could just...
But it's kind of an unknown
put a
fear,
nice
too.
stance on 'em.
Because like they mentioned earlier, it's an unknown fear where you don't know what's in the
But
darkness.
you know you're going to be afraid. You do...
That's true.
It's unknown,
That's
but
true.
known, because you know they're going to creep out somewhere, but you just don't know where. You know what I mean?
Yes. Anyone else like to share? We'd love to hear from you guys. If you just joined us for our mini tap on fears, known fears, we'd like to know what you started at on a scale of 0 to 10 and what you ended at.
I want to see how this would help someone from like skydiving or something just extreme.
Well, remember when I had to accept that award in front of the Secretary of State or whatever, and I took flower essences? I mean, I ended up taking like 20 drops. It was a lot right before I had to like accept an award because I was really nervous. It helped a lot, but I didn't tap then.
Yeah, but it'd be cool.
That did help.
It'd be cool to take like some Mimulus and just be like, I'm gonna bungee jump off this bridge, but I'm gonna take this right before and see what happens.
I don't know.
Because I'm afraid of it. I know I'm gonna be afraid of it. I sympathize with whoever said heights, because I remember doing this one hike once and it got really high, and then you had to like scale this thing. I think I told you about it, and then it was like it was just like.
Why are we afraid of heights though? Did we fall?
Because we're not birds. We're land dwellers.
Oh my god.
But I got like vertigo, man, once I saw.
Oh, Mimulus. M as in Mary, I as in Indiana, M as in Mary, U as in umbrella, L as in Lima, U as in umbrella, S as in Sam. Mimulus. Yes. Mimulus flower essence. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't fly. Like, we're not birds.
Okay, I'll tell you a little secret. So I actually am an airplane pilot.
Who used to trick the people that she brought up, which is why
I used to trick.
I never went up in the plane with her.
I started flying when I was 16 years old, and
she let like all of her secrets out before inviting some of us up, so we never went up with her.
I know I should have kept my big mouth shut, but I didn't.
Tell them what you did.
Well,
she used to take her friends up and then go up and then fake. Oh no, the engine's stalled. What are we doing?
And I turned the engine off. And then we would pretty much be like gliding through the air. The person thinks that the engine has died or has failed at this point. They're freaking out, and I'm just internally laughing.
And you're the only one that knows what's up.
Yeah, of course, I'm the only one. And then
didn't you say you did it to your mom?
I take photos of them. So as I'm flying the airplane, I'm also shooting like old school cameras, like those digital cameras, because cell phones weren't around back then, but
Not ones with cameras.
not
at
ones with
least.
cameras, right? So I'd take photos of their freakouts, and I'd have like a collection of their
Back then, there's scary pics. We had back then what was called remember they were calling it, I think the nickname was just the Green Valley box phone. And it was that Nokia that was
Oh
like
yeah, I remember the
that.
Nokias. Yeah, that's what I had. They didn't have cameras.
And you could, I think the best
But
game you had on
wait,
it
I
was
was
a little...
I was
Go ahead,
telling
go ahead,
them,
go
yeah,
ahead.
that so I'm a pilot, but I'm still afraid of heights, which is strange, right? I'm flying, and I am thousands of feet up in the air, and I am afraid, but I'm inside the airplane, so I feel like safe.
Well, that's not so scary when you're inside for
But
whatever reason.
but
But when you're hiking on like a ledge or something,
yeah,
really
or even
high
a
up-
ladder. Do you remember when you fell off the ladder?
Yes, people, I've fallen off a ladder. Thanks for sharing it to the world.
It was so funny.
And it was not a graceful fall either. It was a straight up just bam, crap falling all over me. Crap.
Oh, good.
forgot.
Yeah, we have this thing at home, and if you curse, you have to pay $1 for every bad word you say.
Crap falling all over me.
And I think crap's still pretty naughty.
Okay,
But it's better than
bins of files and heavy things
It was plastic
falling
bins.
all over me.
Okay, was
It
it?
literally looked like the scene from Home Alone when he climbs up the thing and it all falls down.
What part? Oh,
In the first
little
Home
kid.
Alone.
Yeah,
That's
Home
literally what
Alone.
happened to me. I Home Alone myself off a ladder.
Oh, poor little thing.
But she got it back because she tried to karate chop me once. Remember that?
It was like the next day or that day.
Because you were laughing at me and I was like, all right.
I wanted to
Sanchez.
to Ninja Turtle kick him. Just
For
for fun.
not a real kick.
And so I did the whole thing where, like, here, hold this. I'll show you. It's like one leg is straight and one leg is bent. You know,
We were
like
oh,
like that.
no.
So I ran and I like leaped into
But
the
it was
air.
slow motion.
But somehow this leg didn't stay bent. It went up, and then I'm like, why are both of my feet up in the air above my head? And then I just crashed. It hurt really bad. And you laughed. He laughed just as much as I laughed at him falling off the ladder.
Well, that's because you were wearing socks.
I know. I slipped. Yeah.
Then
All
you
the
make it sound bad I was
memories.
laughing at you.
Well, I was laughing
Not
at
until
you.
you started laughing.
No, but I laughed at you when you fell off the ladder, so it's
Yeah.
okay. It's okay. So this is just our silly moments after tapping. If you guys have any funny stories to share, we'd love to hear them. We like hanging out with you guys. Have a good night, Ashley. Thank you for joining us. Our chats are normally about 30 minutes. We do the tapping in the middle. This is, I don't know, what's our time at right now? Do you know?
This is, let's see.
Let's see. We like hanging out, just talking to you guys.
45 minutes.
Oh,
almost.
wow. Gosh, time goes by so fast when you're having fun.
That it does.
Yeah. So if you just joined us today, we did a tap on fears, known fears. So if you missed it, we will be placing the video on Facebook so you can rewatch that part and maybe tap out something that you know you're afraid of, like spiders or dogs or heights or
Cats.
Clowns.
For some people, for whatever reason. I don't get the cat one. But,
cats.
okay.
Yeah, some people are afraid of cats. Some people are afraid of dogs. Like,
Don't bring the black cat
you're
in
afraid
here.
of spiders, and I love spiders.
But
so-
you're afraid of scorpions, and I love scorpions.
I'm not afraid that much
You
anymore.
just take the little scorpion and pet them and kiss
So
them.
okay, I'll give you a little side note here. In Native American culture, they say that the animal that you're afraid of is your shadow animal, and your shadow animal normally represents the strength of the animal is your weakness. Does that make sense? So, for example, if you're afraid of scorpions, which I really, really was, maybe like a year or two ago, not so much now, but that can mean that I'm afraid of hitting my mark. So when a scorpion, what is that called?
Does a stinger?
Yeah,
like
does a stinger. He knows where he's gonna hit, and he knows he's not gonna miss, right? So, hey! Oh, New York City, checking in, awesome! So that was my fear, is that I wasn't gonna be able to hit my mark anytime I did something. So as soon as I started working on that weakness in myself, my fear of scorpions started to like dissipate. So if you're really afraid of an animal, start looking into the animal symbolism in Native American culture and seeing what the animal's strength is, and potentially knowing that that's your weakness or something that you could possibly work on. So
Yeah.
if you're afraid of spiders, what do you think that means?
Weaving the webs.
Yeah.
What is it? Weaving your...
It's creating and weaving your future so that you can catch what you want in your life. Because a spider web weaves her web to catch her food, right? So you got to create your web to catch your life.
Yep, I gotta learn. I gotta weave them red. I gotta hang out with Spider-Man.
On that note, I think we should call it a night now. If you're gonna go hang out with Spider-Man, Spider-Man does whatever.
Spider-Man.
I thought it does whatever a Spider-Man can. Wait.
No.
All right. Thank you for joining us. Join us every Wednesday at 5 p.m.
And that's the way it is.
Oh yeah,
Is that your sign off now?
No, that's Walter Cronkite. We still haven't figured out our sign off.
I think we're going with "and may blessings rain upon you all." Or did we not like that one?
I don't think we like that one. If you can think of any cool sign-offs for us, we would greatly appreciate it.
And that's...
the way the cookie crumbles.
And tap it out. You could do something with tapping.
Tap it out.
And that's the way you tap it.
Is tap it out, isn't that a boxing thing? Tap it?
No, tap out is MMA.
See? Tap out.
Yeah.
Oh, tap it out. Well, we'll try that. Tap it out.
Just remember, folks, tap it out.
I don't know if I like that one. We'll come up with a better ending. What is it called again? An ending.
Your sign off.
Or a better sign off for next time. But thank you for joining us. Join us next Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you missed the recording and the tapping out of your fears, just give us a couple minutes. The video will be up again on my Facebook page, Flower Nicholle, or on my friend page, Nicholle Sanchez. And thank you for joining us. Have a good night.